For years, people joked that Scotty Kilmer would recommend a Toyota even if you asked him to review a toaster. But lately, he's been doing the unthinkable, openly criticizing Toyota and changing his tune. Today, we're counting down 10 non-Toyota cars Scotty Kilmer says are actually worth buying and won't drain your bank account. And at the end, Scotty breaks one of his own rules by revealing the new cars he still recommends in 2025, and none of them wear a Toyota badge. Let's dive in. Number 10. Subaru Outback, non-turbo models. Scotty gives Subaru plenty of grief, but he always points out that the older non-turbo Outbacks are a much different story. These came from the era before Subaru tried to squeeze big power out of small engines. The naturally aspirated 4 cylinders are simple, durable, and most importantly, they don't fry head gaskets the way early turbos did. What he likes most is how practical they are. Rear all-wheel drive, real ground clearance, and the ability to handle snow, dirt roads, and rural driving without drama. If you live in the mountains or anywhere with rough weather, Scotty considers these one of the best non-Toyota winter beaters. Keep up with the fluids and cooling system checks, and these Outbacks often cross 200 to 250,000 miles with surprising ease. Not perfect, but one of the only Subarus Scotty actually tips his hat to. Number 9. Ford Fusion, 2.5-liter engine only. Scotty rarely recommends modern American sedans, but he makes a big exception for the Ford Fusion with the 2.5-liter naturally aspirated engine. Not the EcoBoost, not the turbo, just the simple old 2.5. That engine is shared with the Mazda 6, and it brings the same reputation. Easy to work on, extremely long-lived, and nearly impossible to kill if you keep clean oil in it. Scotty likes these because Ford didn't overcomplicate them. No fragile turbos, no weird dual clutch transmissions, just a straightforward drivetrain in a car that doesn't cost much to buy used. It's the opposite of what he complains about in newer American models. And the best part? Because most buyers overlook the Fusion entirely, you can find a clean one for thousands less than a comparable Honda. If you want a cheap commuter that punches above its price tag, this simple version of the Fusion is one Scotty calls shockingly reliable. Number 8. Honda Fit, 2009 to 2013. The Honda Fit is one of Scotty's favorite ugly duckling cars, a vehicle he openly jokes about, but also praises as one of Honda's best creations. What makes it so good is the formula. A tiny footprint, a simple 1.5-liter engine, and a transmission that lasts, as long as you treat it decently. Scotty loves the practicality. The Fit's magic seats let you fold and flip the interior into configurations that embarrass much larger crossovers. He said more than once that the Fit is basically a miniature cargo van pretending to be a hatchback. But the real win is longevity. When maintained, these cars routinely hit 200 to 250,000 miles, and they're one of the cheapest vehicles on the market to keep running. No turbos, no direct injection headaches, no fragile infotainment systems. Just Honda doing what Honda does best. If you want maximum reliability per dollar and you don't care about looking flashy, Scotty calls the Fit one of the smartest small car buys left on the market. Number 7. Chevrolet Tahoe, 2007 to 2014, 5.3-liter engine. Scotty doesn't praise GM often, but when he does, it's usually connected to their old-school truck engines. The mid-2000s Tahoe with the 5.3-liter V8 is the one he brings up over and over. This engine is known for lasting forever, and Scotty routinely shows examples still running strong with 250 to 300,000 miles on the clock. He likes these because GM didn't overthink them. Body-on-frame construction, simple electronics, proven drivetrain. Nothing exotic, nothing overly delicate. They're not great on fuel, but they're cheap to repair and parts are available everywhere. For families, contractors, and tow duty, the Tahoe hits a sweet spot of durability without luxury SUV repair costs. Scotty also appreciates that the interior, while basic, tends to hold up well to abuse. No fragile European leather, no nightmare air suspensions to collapse, no tiny turbochargers begging for an early retirement. If you want a reliable American SUV, something with real space, real towing, and real longevity, Scotty says the old Tahoe is one of the few GM vehicles he would actually trust. Number 6. Hyundai Santa Fe and Kia Sorento, non-turbo engines. Scotty spent years telling people to avoid Hyundai and Kia, but even he admits the newer Santa Fe and Sorento with the simple non-turbo engines are solid long-term buys, especially when purchased used. You're getting a drivetrain that isn't stressed, a warranty that often still has life left in it, and repair costs far below what people expect. What he likes most is the value. You get modern features, comfortable cabins, and good road manners without the price tag of a RAV4 or CR-V. And because they sold so many of these, parts are cheap and easy to find. He warns buyers to skip the turbocharged models, skip the dual clutch transmissions, and stick with the basic 4-cylinder. Do that, and these SUVs routinely last well into the 150 to 200,000 mile range with minimal drama. They're not quite Toyota level in longevity, but for the price, they deliver more than enough reliability to earn Scotty's cautious approval. Number 5. Mazda 6 SkyActiv 2014 to 2017. Mazda doesn't get enough credit for how solid their SkyActiv engines are, and Scotty is one of the mechanics who constantly points that out. The Mazda 6 is one of the best examples. It's a mid-sized sedan with real personality, something that's becoming rare. But underneath the sharp styling is a drivetrain built for the long run. What Scotty loves is the simplicity. Naturally aspirated engine, conventional automatic, and a chassis that's incredibly well balanced. These engines routinely hit 200 to 250,000 miles when owners bother to maintain them. He also praises Mazda for avoiding the tech overload other manufacturers dove into during the 2010s. Fewer modules, fewer sensors, fewer expensive repairs waiting to happen at year 10. Because the Mazda 6 never had the mainstream appeal of the Accord or Camry, prices stay low on the used market. You're buying a car with Honda-level handling and Toyota-level longevity, and paying less for the privilege. For viewers who want something reliable and enjoyable, Scotty says the Mazda 6 is one of the few mid-size sedans worth hunting down. Number 4. Honda CR-V 2007 to 2011. These CR-Vs represent the last era before Honda went all in on small turbos and direct injection, which is exactly why Scotty praises them. The 2007 to 2011 generation uses the classic K-Series 4-cylinder, one of Honda's most reliable engines ever made. Paired with a simple automatic and conservative electronics, it's the kind of SUV you buy once and keep for a decade. Scotty likes these because they're predictable. They start every morning, sip fuel, and shrug off highway miles. It's not unusual to see these CR-Vs pushing 250 or even 300,000 miles with little more than fluids in the occasional belt or gasket. He also points out the practicality. Tall seating position, great visibility, big cargo capacity, and a footprint that's easy to live with. No massive screens, no tiny turbo spinning itself into early retirement. If you want a compact SUV that behaves exactly the way cars used to, simple, reliable, and cheap to keep running, this generation of CR-V is one Scotty still recommends without hesitation. Number 3. Ford Crown Victoria and Mercury Grand Marquis. This is where Scotty's old-school bias shines through. He absolutely loves the Panther platform cars, the Crown Vic, Grand Marquis, and Lincoln Town Car. These were the last of the big body-on-frame American sedans built to survive police duty, taxi duty, and hundreds of thousands of brutal city miles. Scotty praises these because they're simple in the best way. Rear-wheel drive, naturally aspirated V8, tons of space under the hood, and electronics that barely exist compared to modern cars. He often calls them indestructible tanks, and he's not exaggerating. It's common to see these with 300,000 miles still running smoothly. What really impresses him is cost of ownership. Parts are unbelievably cheap. Mechanics know them inside and out, and almost nothing requires specialized tools. Suspension jobs, engine work, transmission repairs, all straightforward. They're not fuel efficient, and they're not stylish by modern standards, but if you want a full-size sedan that refuses to die and costs pennies to maintain, this is the non-Toyota legend Scotty recommends more than any other. Number 2. Mazda 3 SkyActiv 2014 to 2018. If Scotty had to pick a compact car that isn't a Toyota but still has Toyota-level reliability, the SkyActiv Mazda 3 is probably the closest match. He's repeatedly said Mazda is building cars better than people realize, and this generation of the Mazda 3 proves it. The naturally aspirated SkyActiv engines are incredibly durable. The transmissions aren't overloaded with complexity, and the cars drive better than almost anything in their class. Scotty loves these because Mazda didn't chase trends. No turbochargers, no fragile CVTs, no weird dual clutch experiments, just a simple, efficient powertrain that lasts. Owners routinely report 200,000 miles with ease, and even high-mileage examples drive tight thanks to Mazda's attention to chassis stiffness. Scotty also highlights the reliability advantage of restraint. Mazda didn't flood the car with giant touchscreens and bleeding-edge infotainment. Fewer electronics equals fewer expensive headaches at year 10. And because Mazda 3s fly under the radar, they're often thousands cheaper than a Civic with the same miles. If you want a compact car that feels premium, drives beautifully, and lives forever, this is the non-Toyota pick Scotty praises most. Number 1. Volvo XC90, straight 6 only. Scotty is famously skeptical of European cars, but this is the one shocking exception he always points people toward. The first-generation Volvo XC90 with the inline-6 engine is one of the only European SUVs he calls legitimately reliable. Not the V8, not the 5-cylinder turbos, just the straight 6. Why? Because Volvo built these before they started stuffing everything full of fragile electronics and overcomplicated drive systems. The inline-6 is understressed, smooth, and known to last 250 to 300,000 miles when maintained. Scotty calls it a Swedish tank, and he's not kidding. What he loves most is the build philosophy. Heavy structure, overbuilt suspension, interiors that actually hold up to kids, dogs, and time. These SUVs were designed for safety and durability first, gadgets second. That's the opposite of most European brands today. Another thing Scotty likes, the price. Because people assume all European cars are money pits, XC90s are wildly undervalued. You can find a clean, well-maintained straight 6 model for a fraction of the cost of a comparable Acura or Lexus. Is it as bulletproof as a Toyota? No, nothing is, but for a non-Toyota SUV that lasts forever, this is the one European model Scotty puts real confidence in. And that's why it lands at number 1. The only new cars Scotty still recommends in 2025. Scotty rarely recommends buying anything brand new, but he makes a couple of exceptions, and none of them are Toyotas this time. Mazda CX-5 non-turbo. Scotty praises this because Mazda still builds it with a simple, naturally aspirated engine and a conventional automatic. No turbo to explode, no CVT to complain about, and build quality that punches far above its price. Mazda 3 non-turbo. Everything he likes about the older Mazda 3 still applies to the new one. Simple drivetrain, great chassis, and fewer long-term headaches than most modern compacts. Honda CR-V hybrid, select years. He's cautious here, but he likes Honda's 2-motor hybrid system because it avoids the fragile CVTs found in other models. Under the right years, it's one of the only new Hondas he considers a safe bet. If you want to buy new but avoid the tech nightmares that plague most modern cars, these are the rare non-Toyota models Scotty actually trusts for the next decade. So those are the cars Scotty Kilmer actually recommends that aren't Toyotas. The overlooked sedans, SUVs, and workhorses that can keep going long after most modern cars tap out. Let me know in the comments which one you'd drive to 300,000 miles. And if you want more no-nonsense breakdowns like this, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video.